Hello, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. I can start when you're ready. Okay. Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court. Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is whether you should go to law school, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of insight about what I wish I knew before I went to law school. So you may be thinking you can't do well on the LSAT, therefore you wouldn't do well in law school. I don't think that's true. I think standardized testing as a whole is not very accurate in determining whether you'll do well in that graduate program or not. I personally didn't do well in the LSAT, but I am in the top percentage of my class. And I think it's just the effort that you put into it. The same can be said for LSAT, but when you're working and going to school for undergrad, you don't really have time to study for it, or maybe you're just not getting the logic games and that just doesn't click for you personally. The LSAT is not an accurate representation of how well you'll do in law school, because honestly, it really has nothing to do with what you would actually learn in law school. So law school, you take very doctrinal classes, which means they're basically lecturing to you. So basically this is how a class would go. They would give you assigned readings. All of the readings in law school are basically past cases that have already been decided. So you would be, an example that you'll see later on in the in this video is that I read Hawaii v. Trump. And I read that whole case, and then I basically talked about it. So that's what you would be doing. You'd go over the facts of the case, the holding of the case, the rule of the case, the reasoning behind the court's decision or holding, and you would just do that all class. So they'd assign 3 to 5 cases per class, and the professors would just call on you to talk about all the things that I just listed. So it is very nerve-wracking because you could be called on at any class and you can be asked to talk about any topic or any case that you've read or was assigned. And that's pretty nerve-wracking. Like, for me personally, I'm shy, I get really anxious. So these classes have me on the edge of my seat the whole time, because what if I'm called? What if I make a fool of myself because I didn't know the facts very well, or they asked me a fact that I read over accidentally? These cases can be anywhere between 10 to 15 pages long, maybe shorter or longer, give or take the certain case. But it is very hard to catch every single detail. And I did a video about how I brief my cases just so that it's a little easier for me when I get called on. So you can go look for that. I don't want to be a litigator. I don't really want to do any of that stuff. So I didn't know if law school would be the right choice for me, but law school generally gives you a lot more in your toolbox than just being a litigator or just doing lawyer stuff. You learn how to analyze, you learn how to do reading comprehension to another level. You learn just to be more articulate and just kind of voice your opinion and formulate your own thought and analysis about things. And it also improves your writing a lot. So that can help you in a lot of different ways. You can be in human resources, you can be in business administration, the education system, anything you really want, you can do with a law degree and not necessarily be a practicing lawyer. So in law school, your first year, some schools give you midterms before your final, but after that, usually there's only one exam that makes up 100% of your grade. So in your first year of law school, they try to help you out, so because you don't really know how the testing goes, so they give you a midterm, and that midterm may be only worth like 10 or 15% of your overall grade, and then the other 90 or 85% is your final. So that really is determinant of how you do in the class, which is your final exam. So after your first year, it's only that one test, and you're just compared to your other classmates, and wherever you fall within that range, that's the grade you get. So I don't know if you guys want to know too much about law school exams and how they're graded and how they're formatted, but it's a very different testing system that's very analysis based, and even some multiple choice, which is also analysis based in a different way. But I can explain that to you guys in a different video. But if you're not confident in memorizing and in just doing these things, I don't know if law school would be particularly great for you, because I'm not the best at memorizing, but I start 3 weeks in advance and I try my best. So that's why I'm able to just kind of slink along. But if you're really worried about memorization and it'll give you a lot of anxiety, I would not recommend law school. I mean, all law students are miserable while they're in it, but we all push through it and people still go to law school. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna be showing you guys my oral arguments for my Con Law 2 class, and hopefully that'll give you some insight about what I kind of do during the day and how a cold call or something would go. Okay, so right now I have constitutional law. We are Zooming, and last week and this Monday we're doing oral arguments, and I am doing the Hawaii v. Trump on the side of Trump. So I'm going to be introducing the dissenting opinion by Justice Breyer and Justice Kagan. This is going to be something else. I don't know if I'm going to turn my webcam on because I am shy, but I will turn my mic on when I need to, and I'll give my little brief. And she's starting. You can't hear her because my AirPods are in, but I will show you me.
Clause, we believe that this case is disputable because it has a direct effect on various different people.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. I can start when you're ready. Okay. Good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court. Sydney Sukenjo representing Respondent Trump. This court should affirm the majority's decision upholding the validity and enforcement of Proclamation 9645 issued by the President because, as the majority of this court affirmed, it is within the President's powers. As mentioned earlier, this proclamation bans immigration and travel for certain countries meticulously